Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Welcome all around. Just lots of welcomes happening here. Okay, so probably already read the title of this video. So you know what's already happening? I didn't pre-plan a mental breakdown to film this video. No, I just took the opportunity and just jumped right on it. Basically, before I get into exactly why we're avoiding a mental breakdown, you might have already guessed if you followed me on Instagram or like any other social media because I've been complaining about it all day. We're going to first review the steps we're going to take to prevent this mental breakdown. With spooky season coming up, it's a little bit of an aid on my mood. It just means that I have a lot to look forward to. What is that? No. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to light this candle. I bought it with my friend Kennedy at Walmart. And I miss her. It's probably a fire hazard, but ta-da! Of course my camera is about to die. It's because I just bought it. And you're probably thinking, well, why did you just buy it? Aren't you a YouTuber? Don't you have more videos? Yeah, okay, just listen. I'm gonna explain it once I change the battery of this camera. Yikes, my appearance has reached an all-time low. I'm back. It was nice. It was a nice little trip. It was great. I loved it. The second thing that we're gonna do to try to avoid my mental breakdown is just do some nice little spooky Halloween crafts, okay? I'm just gonna make a nice, cute little spooky sign. It's really gonna lift my mood overall. Third thing that I'm going to do while I make this spooky craft is I'm going to rant to you. And I'm gonna tell you how my day was. And it's not gonna be a good story. It's gonna be sad and depressing, and it's going to make you cry, probably. Probably not. All right, so this morning I woke up and, you know, I just felt sick. It was just not a good time already. So then I get up and I'm like, ew, it feels muggy in my room. It feels like nasty, like it feels like a little sauna, and it feels gross, and it feels like I'm taking a shower in cold, steamy water. And lo and behold, I look outside and it's freaking raining. Like, it's pouring rain. It's because the stupid hurricane in California is literally coming all the way down to Arizona where I live, and it's dumping rain on us. Like, there's flash flood warnings. And so I'm literally just sitting in a puddle of air, and I just feel so sick, and like I just feel like I just want to die instantly, just right off the bat. That's how my day started, okay? So my day didn't start off well. Usually, like, when I feel like that, I just like don't do anything. Like, I will not get out of bed, and I will stay in my bed, and I will literally just cry. That's called crippling depression. Today I forced myself to get up and like go take a shower. So like, go me. If I have to listen to that music this whole video, I'm gonna get really done really fast. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. I have to listen to music while I tell you the story, or I'm gonna lose my mind.
They're listening to freaking Disney Channel out there. They're blasting it.
So I'm doing photoshopped this. I'll put it right here. And like, I just think that would be a really fun, good, fresh idea. So I'm like, okay, let's film it right now. And so I started filming it, and I have this like little suction cup, and it like goes on your car windshield, and then like you put your camera on it, like you screw it on, and it's like a little camera that like films you while you're in your car. So I thought this thing was just the best thing ever. I'm still not mad at it per se, because I think that I was stupid, and like I was the reason why it didn't work out. Especially now that I'm discovering that there's a switch right here that's supposed to lock the suction cup in place. I literally just discovered this right now on camera. I'm such an idiot, oh my gosh. So I'm in my living room, and I've just attached this to a window. Now in my house, we have tile floors, unforgiving to any electronics. If you drop something on a tile floor, you can just say goodbye. Now, that being said, I bet you can deduct what happened from there. It just fell off. So the camera is broken. I'm literally crying. I call my mom immediately just to cry, and my mom is really nice and really sweet and really supportive about my stupidity. And she's like, Grace, sweetie, you can go get a new camera. It's just like an early birthday present or an early Christmas present, and like I understand that, but that's like literally still so much money. And like I just felt like a little brat. Like I just felt like a spoiled brat, and I felt really bad, and I felt really guilty that I just broke my camera. But then I realized, like, oh, I have a warranty, okay? And that's the only good thing that happened today, is that past Grace was a lot smarter than present Grace, and past Grace got us a warranty. So thank you, past Grace. You're the real one. future Graice editing this, I hate you probably.
Well, that was rude.
Like half of this acne is just like from the tears of today. So my mom's like, okay, yeah, you can go get another camera. Okay, so obviously I'm like, yeah, I need to get one right away so that I can film and get a video up by today, because I try to post as much as I can because I made that commitment. And like, do I hate myself for making that commitment? Yeah. Did I break that commitment anyway? Also yes, but that's beside the point. Okay, so this is like when things really start to go downhill, and it's like for the stupidest reasons, because I've already had like pretty much the worst morning ever. I feel terrible, I feel really sick, and then I feel like guilty terrible, and like I feel soggy and cold. So I'm like not having. Okay, I'm sorry if the position of the camera moved. It literally turned off in the middle of filming. It's fine, I'm over it now. Like, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I'm just like, the whole world's against me. What else is new? The mall Best Buy is the only store that had this camera, okay? So I have to literally work myself up to go 30 minutes away and drive to the mall, which is just already a big hassle, okay? But it's literally freezing outside. I feel cold and soggy, and I have to like look good because this is the mall, and I might see people that I know and they might laugh at me if I'm literally wearing no pants. I'm about to walk out the door, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I had forgotten that I had lost my debit card. I had gotten ready, I had put on this sweatshirt, I had discovered that I had stains, I was wet, I was soggy, I was cold, I was ready to go, and I literally forgot that I had no debit card. And so I just spent a good 5 minutes just on my bed crying. So then I go and drop off the package, I come home, and we've decided that like we're gonna get the camera after school. We're gonna drive to the mall after not even after school, after work. So we're gonna go all the way to the mall like very late at night after I'm done working and get this camera. So I go to work, it's literally pouring rain outside. It's literally a monsoon, I'm not even kidding you. Kids probably hated me today. I teach kids code, if you didn't know that. And they probably hated me so much because I was so boring, and I just made them do a tutorial on code.org because I was just not having it and I just wanted to freaking cry. So we just literally did the most boring app tutorial ever. And so if any of those kids are watching this, I'm so sorry. Like I just could not physically function as a human being. I'm like driving, I'm like on my way to the mall, and I don't have any gas. I just wanted to tap out. I just wanted to be done. So I call my mom, I'm like, I'm actually gonna run out of gas on the side of the freeway out here. She's like, your dad just had your car and he said that there was like a few dollars in your glove box or whatever. So I look and there is a few dollars, and literally like right next to me there's a gas station. So like I was like, oh my gosh, thank the freaking heavens, thank goodness. And then I was able to get enough gas to get me to the mall, and I was able to get this camera, which, you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's not really that much I can complain about here. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, there's really nothing else for me to talk about, but we're not done with our craft yet, so the video isn't over. It's probably gonna be such a long video, and it's probably gonna be so boring, but I don't really care. So let's just move on. So right now, I'm just gonna narrate my craft. And you know what? Maybe I'll tell you a fun story time. This is what we have so far. You're probably thinking, Graice, you've literally been talking for an hour and you have nothing to show for it. I was really getting invested in my own story. Also, I was getting really distracted along the way. So yeah, let's move on to a different story. I'll tell you about the time that I literally almost got freaking kidnapped, and you might enjoy it, you might not. I kind of wanted to save this story for something else, but also I'm not really a storytime YouTuber, so this is pretty much the only opportunity that I'll get to tell you this story. And also, that's it. This is what happened. I was working in the city. Okay, I don't usually work like downtown. Like I usually work like around town, like in libraries and stuff. I've moved on from listening to music. I've just come to accept that I hate my life. Also, the fans just turned on. You might have heard that. It might be so loud now, but I honestly need it. I was literally working in City Hall. Like I was actually working in City Hall. So that's how deep in the city I was. And I'm coming home, and after every day of work, I was working in the mornings at this time. Usually I work at night now. So every day after work, I would go to school, like the coding school that I have. So I'm literally doing this. I'm doing the most. I need to stop saying that if I don't know what it means. And like I'm getting in my car, and by the way, it's like a huge process to like get in your car because, and then So it's like this long process, and like you're freaking winded once you get to your car. Like you felt like you just worked 5 miles of cardio. Freaking in my car, okay? And then this guy like comes over to my car and I'm like, oh shoot, like he looks official. He's all dressed up in like a suit, like I must have done something wrong, like I must have not validated my parking correctly or something. He literally was knocking on my window and like, he's like, hey, could you give me a jump? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I could give you a jump. First of all, this guy does not know how to give a jump, which is I found very fascinating because usually most men, I know this is like stereotype, but like most men know how to like give jumps. The fact that I knew more about cars than this guy like kind of concerned me like a little bit. He's really doing the most. I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry. So I give this guy a jump, but like his car isn't starting. And like, I think that it would have probably started if like he had just given it some time to charge, but like he didn't speak very good English, I don't think. So like he literally didn't understand like what I was saying. And I'm like, shoot, you know, like this guy is, he's really not doing the most. Okay, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. So I'm like, okay, look, your car needs to charge, and he's like not really understanding. I had to go to school, and I only had like this, like I literally had to go from City Hall to my school, and I would barely be on time every day. So I was already gonna be late from helping this guy charge his car. He's like, okay, that's fine. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, you know, and I'm like getting in my car, and he's like, can you drive me to 22nd Street? And I'm like, oh shoot, you know, and this is when I had a decision to make. I'm like, I can drive this guy to 22nd Street. I don't even know if that was the street. I think it was like 20 something, 27th maybe. Either drive this freaking guy to 27th Street, which he was a stand-up guy, you know, he was wearing a suit, like he looked very clean, dressed, orderly. He had a car, you know. Was it working? No, that's a different story. So, you know, I was just like, yeah, okay, fine, you know, and I didn't want to be rude. I didn't know how to like, I didn't really know how to say no. Because I kind of offered to help him, but I kind of didn't really want him to take up the offer. It was kind of that situation, like, oh, is there anything I can do to help? And he's like, yeah, freaking drive me to 27th Street. And I'm like, oh. And I don't even think I said, is there anything I can do to help? Like, I didn't say that. I just was like, sorry, I wish there was more that I could do to help. And apparently there was for him. I'm kind of like, you know, yikes, now I'm gonna be late, but at least I'm gonna help this nice guy get home. I can't believe you're probably cringing as I'm telling the story, if you're even still watching, but you're probably like, yikes, Grace, like this is a man, and yikes. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Got in my car, I was like I was really uncomfortable, but like I was like, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be okay. So like this whole time it's really quiet, and like he keeps trying to start a conversation, and it's like kind of weird. And he's like, oh, how old are you? And I'm like, oh, 18. And he's like, oh, I had no idea, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm 18. And by the way, I'm not 18, I'm 17. He was like, oh, why are you down here? And instead I'm like, I work here. And he's like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, I told him a little bit about it. I'm not that stupid. I'm not giving this guy my life story. I'm just giving him, you know, the bare minimum details. So then I'm like, okay, well, why are you down here? And he's like, oh, I was in the courthouse. I did some dumb stuff, except he used the shit word, which I do not appreciate using. If other people use it, I'm not trying to offend you. At this point, I'm like, did I hear him right? And like when you see somebody dressed up in like a suit, you're like, oh, this guy is trustable. He's wearing a suit, he's dressing up, he cares about his appearance, he works down here, he has a job. He's just like, I don't know what I was thinking. So now I realize that this guy is literally not who I thought he was, okay? He doesn't seem so trustable anymore. He's in Phoenix because he broke the law. So I'm kind of scared for my life. And now, mind you, I literally have no idea like what directions are. Like, I just don't know what they are. If you ask me to like turn on this street and go down this street, I would be like, sorry sis, I don't know what you're talking about. You're probably guessing where this is going, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it anyway. 27th Street was not where I was going. So this guy is literally in my car, and we're literally driving, and like he keeps like trying to like get more freaking personal details out of me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And honestly though, like I'm handling this situation strangely extremely calm, and I think it's because I was in panic mode. We're getting farther and farther away from the place that I need to be, and I'm like, hey, like what exit do we need to turn off of? And like I had looked up 27th, like as I realized that we're driving farther and farther away from the direction that I need to go, I looked it up on my Google Maps. Like I stopped trusting him a little bit because I was just letting him give me directions, and like I'm just such an idiot. Like saying it out loud just makes me look so stupid, and I'm so sorry. I'm just like, hey, like what exit? And he's like, oh, this exit. And I look at my Google Maps and I'm like, sis, that ain't it. So I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's this one. And he's like, oh yeah. Like, he just agrees with me, like he doesn't try to argue with me. I'm a little suspicious because he's like misleading me, but I'm, like I said, I don't really know if that was like a malicious thing or not. So then what happens is, like, we get to the place, like get to the exit, and he starts talking about like his job, and he's like, oh yeah, I sell stuff online. And I'm like, okay, like what do you sell online? He's just like, I just sell stuff online. I asked him where he was from, and he said like Syria, which I'm not being racist. And he said that he had moved there like 2 weeks ago. I was kind of freaked out. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, we could be friends if you want. And I'm like, sis? This is kind of where I lost it. I didn't really know how to say no up until now. I was super uncomfortable, and like the uncomfortable feeling just kept growing and growing. And we were almost to the place where like he said that he needed to be dropped off. But like the only thing was, I was like, okay, up here, because like we were on 27th at this point, but like I just needed to know where on 27th, and he kept saying like, oh, just a little bit further up, a little bit further. And I was like, so this is what happened. So he's like, oh, we can be friends. I had to draw the line there. I knew where this was going, and I wasn't having it. So I was like, okay, listen, like, no, we can't be friends. This is just a one-time thing. My parents are not into, I don't think my parents would like that. That's what I said. I was like, no, I'm sorry. And he goes, no, I'm sorry. Like, he repeated it, everything I said, and I was like, I just don't think my parents would like that. Don't think parents would like that. Like he said, isn't that, it was kind of unsettling, okay? And so I'm finally like, look, you need to get out of my car, like right now. And he was not happy about that. But luckily I was like in a like, you know, populated traffic area. So like if he tried to like kill me, people would probably see. He left my car, I made him get out. And that is a story about the time that I almost got kidnapped. And then I went to school. I was literally shaking. I called my mom immediately. My mom was like, Grace, you're literally an idiot. And I'm like, Mom, I know. So yeah, the good thing is I know that it's stupid looking back on it. Like I didn't, and I knew that it was stupid going into it as well. Don't do what I did. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Anyway, my camera died again. Like, big surprise there. So there's these really popular girls at our old school, like my old high school that I used to go to. And this school is like literally the most pretentious school ever. So obviously you're gonna imagine like these girls are gonna have like the sexy Halloween costumes. They're gonna hit that jewel every period between class, I guess. I don't really know. They are just doing the most. I thought I was done. These girls are like the girls that date like the quarterbacks on the football team. These are the girls that like go to the wild parties and like do weed. I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. They're just not doing the most. So these girls are gonna dress up in like the sexiest Halloween costumes. Obviously, it's just who they are as individuals. So they all decide to be bunnies, like Playboy freaking bunnies from literal Playboy. Fishnet tights, shorts that literally don't even exist. Like, where are the shorts? The bunny ears. Okay, so they're really bringing it together. And there's like 5 of these girls, right? Girl gang, just killing it in their sexy Halloween costumes. By the way, I have nothing against sexy Halloween costumes. They could wear whatever they want. That's just not what I would personally wear. So yeah, they're just really out here doing, I'm not gonna say. So they take this Instagram picture, and like there's these 5 girls, and they're just killing it. And you know, they post it everywhere. Well, I get my hands on this picture and I just lose it. There's this one girl in the group. She's a little bit better than the rest. If I had to choose like one girl that I didn't hate, I probably would choose her. And she's dressed as a cactus. It's so funny. Like, it's the funniest pictures. I wish you guys could see it. Also, I hope they don't watch this video because I kind of don't want them to think that I'm roasting them, because like I kind of am fake to them because I don't want them to like end my life. Anyway, like, it's the funniest picture ever. Like, 4 girls decked out to the nines in their sexy Playboy bunny outfits. They're just wearing all black, slinky, high knee boots. They're just killing it. They're just doing the least. And then there's this one girl, and she's in the middle of the picture. And she has on this like nice t-shirt dress, and there's just ping pong balls over it, and she's a cactus. It's so funny to me. I don't know, I love it. I love that picture. I just love it. Okay, I don't know why I brought that up. It's so freaking cute. Are you kidding me? This is literally the cutest thing I've ever done in my whole life. thank you so much for watching. If you've watched to this point, I'm honestly really surprised. I'm actually cheery now. I actually feel like my normal self again, and like I don't want to give up and just like quit YouTube. And I will see you, I'm literally gonna try not to burn myself, next time. Vape is gross, but like it smells so good, you know?